Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back tonight to the Online Sim Racing Network as we go back side by side with the Extreme Motorsports 99. Tonight is race number 6, round 6, race 6 of 10. Before the chase begins, entitled the Advanced Simulation Products 142. That's the Advanced Simulation Products 142, race 6 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Track Series, brought to you by the Advanced Simulation Products.com, specializing in custom button boxes. Once again, that is Advanced Simulation Products.com. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu, and joining me up in the booth, as usual, is David Everly. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Sean?
Oh, doing good too, thank you. Just ready to get back in the thick of things here tonight, with this race being at Texas Motor Speedway, after drivers coming from Dover International last week, which was a rough race for a lot of the drivers, as the track did claim a lot of them due to the terrible handling with some of the machines due to driving styles. Let's take a recap from last week's race. Speaking of, that was the Bar Harbor 170. That's the Bar Harbor 170, and that was the halfway race in the regular season at Dover. In that race, we had Joshua Gillen bring it home. Joshua Gillen's first win was right there at Dover, and he is a Gillen Motorsports driver, so he was able to lock himself into the chase. So great job to Joshua Gillen once again. Mr. Highside himself, Ralph Vanderforst, finished second. Tyler Holman finished third. Timothy Hamlet fourth. Curtis Vollmer fifth. Hunter McDaniel sixth. Bryce Whitson Jr. seventh. Octavio Rondoletto eighth. Gary B. Whitson ninth. And John Sterling did round up the top 10. Well, moving on to our current points standings, we have Curtis Vollmer taking over the points lead. So last week, we had a new points leader last week, and that was Scott Mitten. And the week before that, we had a different points leader, that was Greg Bradshaw. So Greg Bradshaw lost the points lead at Charlotte, and that passed it on to Scott Mitten last week. She said a week before that, but then last week, Curtis Vollmer as well took over the points standings, so he's now the new leader. So in 3 races, we've had 3 new leaders in points. So Curtis Vollmer, new leader with the Samson Motorsports team. Scott Mitten is 12 points behind Curtis Vollmer in second place. We have Greg Bradshaw, third place in points, only 3 points behind Scott Mitten. Gary B. Whitson is 9 points behind Greg Bradshaw, who is in third place. We have Hunter McDaniel, defending champion, season 9 champion, Maverick Motorsports driver, 5th place in points, only 1 point behind Gary B. Whitson. Joshua Gillen is 6th in points, only 3 points behind Hunter McDaniel. Octavio Rondoletto is 7th place in points, only 6 points behind 6th place driver Joshua Gillen. We have Jay Pryor, 8th place in points, only 3 points behind Octavio Rondoletto for 7th place. Gary Woobot is 9th place in points, only 2 points behind Jay Pryor. We also have Bryce Whitson Jr. Bryce Whitson Jr. rounding up the top 10 in the points standings, and only 2 points behind his teammate, Gary Woobot. Sorry, actually that's not Gary. So Gary Woobot is 9th place in points, and Bryce Whitson Jr. is 10th place in points. I apologize, I got those 2 names mixed up. So Gary Whitson is 4th place in points. Gary Woobot is 9th place in points. Bryce Whitson, 10th place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, type it up. Get active in the chat. Say something. I see some viewers already typed it up. So I'm going to go to the top and give a bunch of shout-outs to every single one. Thank you very much for coming back tonight to the Online Sim Racing Network. We have Gillen Motorsports. That is Joshua Gillen. Welcome back, Joshua. And congrats once again on last week's success. And also paving a good road for yourself in the championship. In this case, getting yourself locked into the chase. That's one step closer. Brandon Ketchum is back as well. Welcome back, Brandon. Hope you're doing well tonight. Dirty Max 77. Welcome back, Dirty Max. And that is Ken Ladd. Sorry, no, that's Tyler Holman. Tyler Holman. Welcome back, Tyler. Oh, the grid is ready. Going to come back to the chat here in a little bit. Well, going over tonight's grid, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel, the post sitter. 81, Travis Pryor second, so two Maverick Motorsports drivers first and second place. Ralph van der Forst third, Nick Hunt fourth, Tyler Holman fifth, Greg Bradshaw sixth. We have Cody McFadden seventh, Adam Eisenhower eighth, Garrett Helmlinger ninth, John Sterling 10th, and rounding up the top 10. And Jay Pryor in the 8-0 11th, Alex Kingsbury 12th, Gary B. Whitson 13th, Tommy Haynes 14th, Curtis Vollmer 15th, Octavio Rondoletto 16th, Bobby Tinch 17th, Jeffrey Gillam 18th, Randy Perdue 19th, and Bryce Whitson Jr. 10th place in points driver in the 20th place position. Jason Eisenhower starting 21st, Jim Kelly 22nd, Joshua Gillen 23rd, Chris Voiles 24th, Kerry Cleaver 25th, Gary Woolbosch 26th, Tommy Emasi 27th, Scott Mitten 28th. We have David Elliott 29th and Brandon Ketchum in the 30th place spot. Chris Thorman 31st, Timothy Hamlet 32nd. And rounding up the rest of the field, we have a new driver here. Seems like, yes, the 140 of Sal Casey. That's 140 Sal Casey. We have Doug Blackman, Ken Ladd, Scott Brooks, and Paul Davis, giving us roughly 34, 35 drivers starting tonight's race. And we are now rolling behind this pace car, but as we roll behind the pace car, gonna go back to this chat. We have Pat T. Welcome back, Pat. It has been a while. It's been a whole week way too long. Hope you're doing well tonight, Pat. It was a pleasure to see you. Let's see who else in the chat. Gonna go down this list. We have Martin Rondoletto. Welcome to the Online Sim Racing Network there, Martin. And that is a relative to Octavio Rondoletto in the 24 machine. Good to see you there, Martin. And so far, seems like that's it in the chat. So please type it up, get active, and let us know what's on your mind. Everybody getting bunched up nice and tight, going around the Texas Motor Speedway for 142 laps. This is the Advanced Simulation Products 142 on the pace car, dips off. Hunter McDaniel finds the gas pedal, gets a great start against everybody. Lap number 1 of 142. The Advanced Simulation Products 142, that's Advanced Simulation Products 142. Round 6 of the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Camping World Truck Series. Brought to you by tonight's sponsor, AdvancedSimulationProducts.com. Specializing in custom button boxes. First through 10th place, already single file on lap number 1. This is when we expect to see these drivers racing side by side, taking advantage of those new tires. For the back in the pack, 8-0 Jay Pryor on the outside of 72 of Kingsbury. At the exact same time, Jay Pryor behind the 88 of John Sterling on the outside line. And 13 of Gary B. Whitson trying to take advantage of these fresh stickers while he can. Trying to freight train the outside line. So far his victim being the 88 of Sterling on the outside. At the same time, 13 of Gary B. Whitson is being assisted. Well, B. Whitson is assisting the 48 of Curtis Vollmer on the inside. But now Vollmer is stuck on the inside of the 88 of John Sterling. Looks like he has a bad entry entering turn number 3. But Sterling backs off and lets him by without a fight. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the drivers they have two options. They can either burn their stuff up now. Basically, they can either gain time, gain spots now, and lose later. Or they can lose now and gain later. Basically, that means they can either save their tires now and be faster in the long run, or they can burn their stuff up now and be slower in the long run. Either way, it is a gamble for these drivers because this track is very, very heavy on tires.
Yeah, but also you got to remember, this is a very fast track, 1.5 miles, but it is a quick track. These guys running right about high 29s, low 30-second lap times. So these trucks are flying around this course. One of my favorite tracks. It's not the easiest track to run, but you could run low, you could run high, you could run middle. A lot of different grooves that you can run in.
Yeah, that's a good point you brought up right there. And, you know, in the long run, yes, the outside line does come into play. I see Past T asking in the chat there that the preferred race groove early on the inside has been known to be the most beneficial. But you have to realize you are faster on the inside, but you are burning up your stuff more. Basically, you're scrubbing your tires more. But the outside line as well does work. It does get the job done, but you'll be a little bit slower than the drivers on the inside due to you being taking a longer route around the racing surface. But once as the race progresses and the rubber builds up, the outside will come to life. We're going to be seeing a lot of drivers changing up these race lines. And so far in the 9th place spot, we have the 3 of Garrett Helmlinger. Garrett Helmlinger trying to hang on to the top 10. Currently in the 10th place spot, he has a threat in his rear view. That is the 13 of Gary B. Whitson. Gary B. Whitson has a loud pedal and is not afraid to use it. A heavy foot in this case. He goes to the inside of Garrett Helmlinger. They stay side by side as Whitson is behind the 72 of Kingsbury. Looks like Helmlinger was able to maintain the 10th place spot and going the inside of 72 of Alex Kingsbury. Kingsbury in the Looker Automotive Machine trying to make a move and slingshots off the exit of turn 2 and clears the 3 of Helmlinger successfully, entering turn 3. At the exact same time, Gary Whitson trying to get around Helmlinger as we speak. And Dakota Craig in the chat. Welcome back, Dakota. It is great to see you again. Hope you're doing well. It's great to see you. And up front, 74 of Greg Bradshaw, previous points leader at Charlotte. Currently on the inside of 34 of Tyler Homan. They are side by side as we speak. And in the rear view is the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, trying to benefit from anybody's mistake. One man's mistake is another man's benefit at a track like this, and so far, Adam trying to just pretty much pick a lane. He's trying to decide which one's the best place to be, and so far he picks the outside line due to 34 of Homan being successful against Bradshaw. He picked the high line due to what he saw Homan do. And as we speak, Greg Bradshaw getting overtaken. Actually, Bradshaw just lost 2 spots in 1 lap. He goes from 5th place to 7th place. Oh man, we had some heavy contact on the exit of turn number 2 between the 34 of Tyler Homan and the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. They caught the 81 of Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor going from hero to 0. Not sure what happened to Travis Pryor, but he was in the 2nd place spot. Oh, he tapped the wall entering turn 1. He goes sideways. Is he going to save it? Oh man, yes, Travis Pryor saves it. We are still green flag racing. Oh man, I do not know how Travis was able to save that machine. He lost a lot of speed. All his momentum had been lost, including gaining some right rear damage, some right front damage, and it goes from 2nd place to 15th place, 14 laps in. And also, ladies and gentlemen, no quick fixes, no backup trucks, no fast repairs. which means if the drivers sustain enough damage to end their race, that damage will, without a doubt, end their race. They'll have no choice but to go down pit road and let their pit crews work on those machines in order for them to get back on the racing surface, and so they can be able to put down some more laps and take down more names. And we said it last week, ladies and gentlemen, Dover International Speedway, not the best track, as that track is quite a beast in itself. Basically, the drivers in that case ended up racing the track more than they did themselves, just due to how difficult or technical the track was and just how quickly those tires were going away. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, this track is a totally different beast. Therefore, these drivers are able to unleash those beasts that they were not able to unleash last week from Dover. And I did not get a chance to go over the what we're dealing with tonight. We have a 74-degree Fahrenheit track temp. That's 74 degrees Fahrenheit track temperature. It is mostly cloudy with air temperature at 70. That's 70 degrees Fahrenheit as well. Late afternoon with winds from the east at 3 miles per hour. And ladies and gentlemen, the drivers do have a 65% fuel limit. That is a 65% fuel limit as usual. With that said, we should expect to see them come down pit road at least twice. And a driver making moves here as we speak, coming out of nowhere. It's the 99 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Bryce Whitson Jr. did start in the 20th place spot and now currently in the 17th place position. His next victim now is the 24 of Octavio Rondoletto. And ladies and gentlemen, we are 5 races in already, 5 races complete this season in the regular race season, and we now have 5 more races left before the chase begins, which means 5 more chances for the drivers to get themselves locked into the chase. As a matter of fact, actually, we've had 5 races and 5 different winners in all these races. So I'm going to go over the names of these drivers who won these races. They've been locked into the chase already, so congrats to these drivers. We had Joshua Gillen, so Joshua Gillen has 1 win. Bryce Whitson Jr. has won once. Randy Perdue has won once. Ken Huber won once. And Christian DeFalco has 1 win as well. So Christian DeFalco, Ken Huber, Randy Perdue, Bryce Whitson Jr., and Joshua Gillen, all 5 drivers locked in the chase. At the same time, these drivers might be locked into the chase, but they still have to qualify. Basically, they have to make 8 of the 10 races to be considered. So they'll be sure to be here to avoid getting knocked out of the chase, avoid getting their spot taken away from them. We have some battles rolling up as we speak here in the pack. Octavio Rondoletto on the outside of the 99 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Bryce Whitson on the inside. A big cluster is being formed. Rondoletto, Bryce Whitson Jr., Garrett Helmlinger, Bobby Tinch, Curtis Vollmer, John Sterling, and 34 of Tyler Harmon. This is rush hour traffic at its finest. 88 of Sterling on the inside. He's pushing way too tight. He lets off the gas to avoid causing trouble against Tyler Harmon. As a result, he lost speed and momentum, and Tyler Harmon clears him on the exit of turn 2 and turn 3. Oh, trouble in track 99 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Hard impact with the wall. And the caution flies on lap 23. Gonna back it up and see what happened.
Well, as we see, he hit that wall hard. Let's see, focusing here on the 99. It actually looks like a truck into the wall actually got into him. And let's see if we can see what truck that is. I think that is going to be the 66 machine. I do believe, if I'm not wrong, but he got into the wall, come down right into the back right quarter panel of Bryce Whitson and just sent him hard into the wall.
Oh man, absolutely, yeah. Bobby Tinch got claimed by the turn 4 wall, exit of turn 4 wall, and that shot him down. Absolutely, that's very unfortunate for both drivers involved, especially the 99 of Bryce Whitson Jr. getting the worst end of that deal. Heavy smoke from that machine was seen, and as we speak, ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Whitson Jr. on pit road, actually getting towed to pit road, and as after that, his pit crew is going to get hard at work to try and revive that machine, get it back to life, so he can be able to put down some more laps before the race ends. Well, going back up front, we are still being led by Hunter McDaniel, who leads everybody down pit road, and they all follow. So everybody down pit road except for the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen, sticking to his exact same strategy under caution. He always waits at least one lap after everybody pits in before going down himself. And the race off pit road was won by Hunter McDaniel, able to maintain the lead off pit road, that is. Cody McFadden comes out second, Greg Bradshaw third, Nick Hunt fourth, and Adam Eisenhower in the 5th place spot so far, rounding up the top 5 drivers coming off pit road. But if the 40 of Joshua Gillen stays out, he should be shown as the new race leader on lap 25, but something tells me he's not going to stay out. Yep, Joshua Gillen going down pit road this time around as we speak, and that passes the race lead back to the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. And with 26 laps into tonight's race, we have some new additions to the top 10. New additions in the top 10, we have Gary B. Whitson. Actually, let's start with Jay Pryor. Jay Pryor from 11th place to 6th. Gary Whitson from 13th to 7th. Alex Kingsbury from 12th to 8th. And Joshua Gillen from 23rd. He was in the top 10, but now knocked out of the top 10 due to him going down pit road. So Tyler Holman has been able to get back in the top 10. And we also have the 48 of Curtis Vollmer with his first appearance in the top 10 as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in here tonight. The Online Sim Racing Network, the Advanced Simulation Products 142. That's Advanced Simulation Products 142, round 6 of 10. Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Advanced Simulation Products.com, specializing in custom button boxes. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not yet already, check out the Extreme Motorsports 99 at their website, extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X. That's extrememotorsports99.com. They have a lot to offer, ladies and gentlemen. They have oval racing and road racing, and in the near future here, some dirt racing coming up with the Extreme Motorsports, so you guys can join based on experience and preference. Because when it comes to the oval side, when it comes to the Pro K&N series, the Track series, and Xfinity series, they do place you in those series based on experience. So basically, when it comes to that, the Pro K&N series on Monday nights, Track series on Tuesday nights, and Wednesday nights is Xfinity series, and Pro K&N series should be viewed as a beginner class. And from there, drivers do get promoted as they progress through. And on Monday nights as well, they have a road series going on. So once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, going back up front, we are now 2 wide, going green exiting turn 4, being led by Maverick Motorsports driver McDaniel. The pace car dips off, and Hunter finds the gas pedal. He gets a great restart against Cody McFadden, who was not able to see that restart coming. And we are now back green flag racing some side by side for second place between Bradshaw and McFadden, who are going at it. And the outside line is never ever the place to be on a start or restart as we speak right there. We have McFadden going from second place to fourth place on the restart. Yep, McFadden finally falls back in line behind the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. So both Greg Bradshaw, Adam Eisenhower able to gain 1 spot. Actually, in the case of Adam Eisenhower, able to gain 2 spots on the restart. Namely, overtook the 64 of Cody McFadden and the 00 of Nick Hunt. And now we have the 5th place driver, 80 Jay Pryor. New addition to the top 10 here this far, 29 laps in on the inside of 00 of Nick Hunt, going at it side by side. Jay Pryor getting some bump draft assistance from the 13 of Gary B. Whitson. Well, not really bump draft, but they might as well be bump drafting with racing that close. Entering turn number 1, a big checkup by the 80 of Jay Pryor behind the 65 of Cody McFadden. And that does get the 13 of Whitson closer to his back bumper. And 72 of Alex Kingsbury being a helping hand to the 80 to the 0 of Nick Hunt on the outside line. Both drivers trying to make the outside line work with the 30 laps in. The outside should kick in here before too long. The leaders up front already doing the Q. Oh man, the 0 Nick Hunt goes up the track to avoid trouble. Almost some contact between himself and the 80 of Jay Pryor, but he saves it. Still green flag racing. Yes, actually, looks like there was contact between the 80 of Jay Pryor and the 00 of Nick Hunt. Actually, some bad netcode contact, unfortunately, between the two drivers. As a result, Nick Hunt gets the worst end of that deal, gets sent to the 9th place spot from the 6th place position, and right now he's settling down between the 3 of Helmlinger and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer in the 9th place spot. 24 of Octavio Rondoletto on the outside of the 61 of Jeffrey Gillum. Jeffrey Gillum had some serious bad luck last week at Dover, and trying his best to have a better race tonight, keeping his head high, his foot down to the floorboard, and his 4 wheels on the racing surface, and so far gets around Octavio Rondoletto successfully. Well, not quite. Slingshot by Rondoletto on the exit of turn 2 and side by side still, entering turn 3. The 61 Jeffrey Gillum SimRacingApps.com Chevy Silverado that are working overtime, overtaking the 24 of Rondoletto, and Rondoletto is not giving up. And at this point, if they stay side by side with the way it looks so far, Octavio is going to end up with the upper hand in the long run, because Jeffrey has already burned up his stuff a lot more than Octavio this far, but it finally clears him. And for the back in the pack in the 16th place spot, the 5 of Randy Perdue. Randy Perdue is already locked into this chase, currently behind the 17 of Tommy Haynes in the 16th place position. Randy in between Tommy Haynes and the 42 of David Elliott. So far, these 3 drivers, Haynes, Perdue, and Elliott, just having a Sunday drive, trying to buy their time, trying to get used to the handling of these machines with the changing conditions with every single lap upcoming here before too long. Also with a new driver, the 140 of Sal Casey in the Bud Light, actually that's the Coors Light machine on the inside of the 42 of David Elliott for 17th. Always seeing some amazing new faces week after week with the Extreme Motorsports 99.com, ladies and gentlemen. That lets you know something. It's an amazing league, and everybody wants to be a part of it. So once again, Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Further back in the pack, we have some drivers just having a Sunday drive. The 71 of Chris Thorman, 28 of Chris Voyles, 23, Jim Kelly, 25, Doug Blackman, Bobby Tinch is currently in the 29th place spot, and also the 5-0 of Scott Mitten, previous points leader last week. And so far, Scott Mitten behind Bobby Tinch for the 29th place spot. And in the 21st place spot, we have a Bandit Motorsports driver 69 of Kerry Cleaver in the Autism Awareness paint scheme. That's Autism Awareness. That's a very, very great cause, and a very, very well-dressed Chevy Silverado. And is currently riding behind the 12 of Brandon Ketchum and the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. And some side-by-side going on here. We have the 34 of Tyler Homan and the 61 of Jeffrey Gillum. You have side-by-side entering turn number 1 as they both... Here we have Jeffrey drafting off John Sterling off the exit of turn number 2. Jeffrey Gillum and 34 of Homan drag racing. And Jeffrey Gillum gets around the 34 of Tyler Homan. At the same time, it's a free lunch program. It's an opportunity for the 24 of Rondoletto to take advantage of the 34 of Tyler Homan as well on the inside. By the looks of it, the 34 of Tyler Homan might have burnt up his stuff and racing hard there early on in this run, because as we speak, he does seem to be losing spots left and right. Yep, 17 of Tommy Haynes to the inside of 34 of Tyler Homan. Side by side they go and stay on the backstretch, entering turn 3, but Tommy Haynes leads quite a nose, entering turn number 3. Who's going to have the upper hand on the exit of turn 4? Exit of turn 4, Haynes clears Tyler Homan successfully, and Tyler tried to do the crossover move but did not have enough momentum to make it stick, so he rides for now. Man, this new driver tonight, the 140 Sal Casey, coming out of nowhere. After starting in the 34th place spot, that is 34th place position, Sal Casey, and now currently in the 16th place spot in climbing. They just keep adding more and more aliens to the league with every single season, every single week. The caution flies on lap 44, entering turn number 1. Looks like 86 of Adam Eisenhower spun around sideways. Gonna back it up and see what happened.
See the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, contact between him and I think that, not sure of the truck there, but I think that's the 72 of Kingsbury. Got into each other, and Adam Eisenhower hard into the outside wall.
Oh man, absolutely. That looks like they ran out of room entering turn number 1. That's very unfortunate for both drivers involved in that. And Adam Eisenhower getting the worst end of that deal. And great job to everybody avoiding that wreck, because that could have absolutely been worse. So great awareness by the drivers. So Adam Eisenhower and also Alex Kingsbury will spend some time on pit road, some minutes. Oh, actually Adam Eisenhower, heavy smoke from the rear end, so he'll be spending a lot of time on pit road. So hopefully he's able to get a brand new machine. Well, not really brand new, because once again, no backup trucks, but hopefully he's able to get his machine back up and running without that heavy black smoke from the rear end, so he can be able to get back here on the racing surface. But going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel, who leads everybody down pit road. Man, it's quite the barbecue on pit road. About everybody able to make it into their pit stalls safely. And we have Joshua Gillen staying out here still. So Joshua Gillen now having 21 laps on his tires and tank. So pretty much his usual pit strategy. Under caution, the race off pit road has been won by Hunter McDaniel, who was still leading entering pit road. And this far, Hunter McDaniel has led every single lap. And speaking of pit road, Hunter McDaniel wins the race off pit road. Greg Bradshaw comes out second, overtaking Cody McFadden. McFadden comes out third. Curtis Vollmer comes out fourth, and Vollmer overtook Jay Pryor. And 13 of Whitson comes out fifth off pit road. Actually, looks like Jay Pryor has dropped quite a ways back. So once we cross the start finish line, we're going to see exactly where he stands. And this, ladies and gentlemen, gives us time for a race interview. So let's focus on one of the drivers. Let's focus on the new driver, the 140 of Sal Casey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined up in the booth by the 140 of Sal Casey. You come up there, Sal?
10-4, I got you, brother.
How you doing tonight?
Feeling good, man. Making some progress. Having some fun with these boys out here.
Oh, man, yes, progress you are making. And we are glad you're having fun. And, man, this is your first race here tonight. And you're making quite a show, quite an appearance, starting in the 34th place spot and currently in the 14th place spot. How's the machine been handling this far?
It's feeling good, trying to keep up with the track. You know how Texas is. It's always changing. Tires are, getting rough towards the end of the run, trying to save and, make up some ground near the end of the run. But all in all, having a good run so far, looking to stay strong and keep up the pace.
Oh, absolutely, man. And when it comes down to this long run, because we've had a couple of long runs this far, which is the preferred race groove, or do you find yourself changing up your racing line?
Well, so far, the runs haven't been long enough for me to really change up my racing line quite yet. If it gets towards 30, 35 laps, I'll probably head up towards the top of the track. But right now, I'm sticking towards the middle to the bottom and just pedal to the metal, brother.
Oh, copy that, brother. Well, man, you are now back one to green. You've made some serious headway. We look forward to seeing you 12 spots higher on lap 142. Make us proud as usual. Make us proud.
Yeah, I hope so. Hey, appreciate it, brother.
And that was the 140 of Sal Casey, a standby driver. A new addition, first race for him here tonight in the Extreme Motorsports Track Series. And we are now back one to green, being led still by Hunter McDaniel with the help of Cody McFadden. On the outside line, we are being led by Greg Bradshaw with the help of 48 of Curtis Vollmer. John Marine in the chat. Welcome back, John Marine. It's good to see you again, man. Hope you're doing well. Exiting turn number 4, going green as we speak. Pace car dips off. And Hunter holding pace speed. He finds that gas pedal, catches everybody off guard. The green flag is out. And a great restart against Greg Bradshaw and Cody McFadden. The outside line, not the best place to be on a restart. As we speak, Greg Bradshaw paying the price. He goes from 2nd place to 4th place before the exit of turn 2. Yes, 4th place. On the inside is the 48 of Vollmer and 13 of Gary Whitson. And just like the 140 of Sal Casey had talked about up in the booth, he said middle to inside is the preferred race groove so far with the current runs we've been having. But once the run gets longer, maybe past 30, 35 laps, he suspects to start changing up his race groove, going to the outside line to try and just pretty much find another sweet spot or another comfort spot, if you will, for his machine. And here, as we speak, we have the 88 of John Sterling. John Sterling has been making headway ever since the drop of the first green flag. Currently behind the 48 of Curtis Vollmer for 4th place. And past T, a status check on the 80 of Jay Pryor. Yeah, not sure what happened to Jay Pryor, but his machine looks clean. Yep, his machine looks clean. Not a single scratch on that. Pryor racing past T High Pains Chevy Silverado. So maybe he most likely got an end of the line penalty during the last caution, but so far no harm to the machine. Some side-by-side going on. Mr. High Side himself, Ralph Vanderforst. Let's look at much of Ralph Vanderforst here tonight, but he is here, has been keeping a lot of profile tonight. Did start in the 3rd place spot and currently in the 20th place spot, trying to overtake the 9 of Chris Voyles. They were battling side by side, but looks like Chris Voyles was able to get out of that on the upper hand. And now Chris Voyles coming up to the 36th of Jason Eisenhower at a fast rate. And Mr. High Side himself doing exactly what he does best, trying to make the outside line work as we speak. On his inside, he has the 80 Jay Pryor, who's on the move, trying to work his way back towards the front where he was before in the top 10. He overtakes the 68 of Ralph Vanderforst, as Ralph Vanderforst is just riding the outside line, trying to save those tires and be there in the long run. A big chunk up on the outside line, the 12 of Brandon Ketchum, the 68 of Kerry Cleaver on the outside, 69 of Kerry Cleaver, excuse me. And now Kerry Cleaver actually slow. He's way under speed on the exit of turn number 2. Looks like he's trying to get back up to speed. Looks like he was trying to let all the faster traffic by. 80 of Jay Pryor, his foot down through the floorboard. And he gets around the 9 of Chris Voyles. That's 1 spot down and 16 spots left to take to the race lead. And now Chris Voyles bumps down to 18th place. Jay Pryor 17th and Ralph Vanderforst in the 19th place spot. And now Jay Pryor has his eyes on the prize. That prize being the 36 of Eisenhower. 42 of David Elliott as well is creeping up into the rear of both the 68 of Vanderforst and the 9 of Chris Voyles as we speak. And going back up front, we have Hunter McDaniel still leading, and he has a 5/10 of a second lead against second place driver Cody McFadden. Hunter McDaniel has proven to be a fast driver in the long run. Past 25 laps on tires, he seems to be pulling away from the rest of the field, just what I observed during the last 2 runs we had. So I'm not sure if maybe these drivers, McFadden, Gary Whitsett, and Vollmer, might have it down now. But, you know, McFadden's lead kept getting nothing but bigger due to the heavy battles that were going on. Second place on back. But as we speak here, we have Gary Whitsett as well trying to catch up to the 64 of McFadden at the same time. 48 of Vollmer is in the mix. Oh, and the caution flies on lap 60. We're going to back it up, see what happened.
Well, that's going to involve the 51 machine and the 69. Let's go back here and see if we can get a good look here. See exactly what happened between the 2 machines. 69, Kerry Cleaver got into the outside wall and unfortunately spit him off the wall down into the 51. So heavy damage on both of those trucks, as that is our third caution here tonight on lap 61.
Oh man, that's very unfortunate for both drivers involved, especially the 51 of Paul Davis. Paul Davis getting the worst end of that deal. Heavy smoke from the rear end. And he currently going around the track, trying to keep those temps in check to avoid hearing that big loud boom. And yeah, he is smoking up the track quite a bit. And that means he'll spend a lot of time on pit road as his pit crew tries to eliminate all the heavy unnecessary black smoke. But going back up front, we have Hunter McDaniel still in the lead, Cody McFadden second, Gary Whitson third, Curtis Vollmer fourth, and Greg Bradshaw in the fifth place spot. And the drivers this far have gone 16 laps since their last pit stops. And Hunter McDaniel leading everybody down pit road as we speak. And that's very true right there, John Marine. Yeah, this track is all about the momentum, man. It's all about getting those runs off the turns if you're trying to get around your opponents. Basically, a smooth entry to a fast exit. Unfortunately, we've lost one driver, 28 of Chris Voiles. Actually, that's the 9 of Chris Voiles, different number tonight. So 9 of Chris Voiles retiring early for the evening, unfortunately, with 60 laps in. And the race off pit road was won by Hunter McDaniel, able to maintain his lead. Cody McFadden comes out second. Gary Whitson comes out third. Curtis Vollmer fourth. And Greg Bradshaw in the fifth place spot. And we've had John Sterling on the move ever since the drop of the green flag. I've been meaning to get a word in with John Sterling. Let's actually pull him up here and see what he's thinking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we join up in the booth by the 88 of John Sterling. Get a cup there, John?
Yeah.
How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. Just kind of just driving around, trying not to use up my equipment.
Oh, 10-4. Well, looks like mission's complete. I mean, it's a success this far on your part, because ever since the drop of the green flag, we've seen you around the top 5, top 10, and nothing below that. But how's the machine been handling so far?
I've been trying to mess with pit strategy. Tried both 4 and 2 tires, and probably have something here towards the end of the race. After about maybe 5 to 7 laps, it does get a little tight. But I'm just letting the other guys just kind of wear out their tires, and I'm just trying to save mine for the longer run.
Oh, copy that. Great strategy indeed. And John, what went into preparing for tonight's race on your part?
Oh, I don't get a lot of time to prepare. All I get is the practice session just before the race. I work quite a few hours, so I don't get to do it much on the weekends or the Mondays before.
Oh, 10-4. Well, that's very surprising, because clearly you did not need that much practice after all, because you've been very dominant. But man, you're doing well this far. Very impressive. We look forward to seeing you 6 spots higher before too long. Keep tracking.
All right, thank you.
And that was the 88 of John Sterling with the Whitson Motorsports team. And we are now back 1 to green. John Sterling himself is currently in the 7th place spot, starting behind 74 of Greg Bradshaw. But going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel with the help of Gary Whitson. Outside line being led by McFadden. That's Cody McFadden with the help of 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Oops, sorry. And the pace car dips off, and Hunter McDonough immediately finds that gas pedal and gets a great restart against Gary Whitson and McFadden, who are going at it side by side already for second place. Outside line once again, not the best place to be, as we see right now McFadden paying the price. So McFadden goes from second place to fourth place in one turn, and Curtis Vollmer and Gary B. Whitson both bumped up one spot, and McFadden now drops down to the inside. Big check up on the inside, and that shot the double zero of Nick Hunt. That's double zero of Nick Hunt up the track to avoid trouble. And as we see right there, due to the big check up, Nick Hunt lost all his speed, all his momentum, and a bunch of spots to go with it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with 67 laps in and 76 laps left in tonight's race, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Advanced Simulation Products 142. That's the Advanced Simulation Products 142, Race 6 of 10, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Advanced Simulation Products.com, specializing in custom button boxes. You are watching this live on the Online Sim Racing Network. I am Sean Zulu, and joined by David Everly. We're going back to the race, ladies and gentlemen. We are still green flag racing, being led by Hunter McDaniel still, Gary B. Whitson second, Cody McFadden third, Curtis Vollmer fourth, and Greg Bradshaw in the top 5. And 76 laps in and 67 laps remaining, which means we have crossed the halfway mark, ladies and gentlemen. We have at least one more pit stop required for the drivers. Actually, in this case, maybe 1.5 pit stops. In this case, 2 pit stops, most likely required in order for the drivers to be able to make it the rest of the way. But in this case, the drivers have gone 16 laps since their last pit stop, last caution. So a lot of them will start pretty much thinking about when to come down pit road. Basically, they are calculating. Oh, caution flies this time around. Put those calculators away. Gotta back it up. See what happened.
That's going to be the 36 of Eisenhower here. As we're going to go and get a closer look here. Looked like he might have coming off of the turn. Let's see, taking a look here. Yeah, he just slid up the track into the outside wall, and around he went to the inside, but back on the track, bringing out our 4th caution here tonight at Texas.
Oh man, yeah, turn 2 claims another victim, unfortunately. And he blew his motor. Well, heavy smoke from that machine. So that means some time spent on pit road. Hopefully, it's able to get back to life before too long, so it can put down as many laps as possible to get the most points possible for the points standings. We're going back up front, Hunter McDaniel leading everybody down pit road, and they all follow. '72 of Alex Kingsbury. Alex Kingsbury, first driver, 1 lap down, gets the wave around the pace car. As we speak, he gets his lap back on lap 79. So congrats to Kingsbury. And this far, we have 29 drivers on the lead lap. We'll scratch that, now 30 with Alex Kingsbury. Yep, 30 drivers on the lead lap. And everybody else 1 or more laps down. And tonight we did have 36 drivers start the race. That was 36 drivers start the race and 30 on the lead lap. So 6 drivers, 1 or more laps down. And in the case of Bryce Whitson Jr., oh, Bryce Whitson is back on the track. Bryce Whitson had some bad luck there early on off the exit of turn number 4 when the machine bounced off the track, bounced off the wall and got him. And he spent a lot of time on pit road and is now 50 laps down. But the machine is back to life. That machine, the pit crew was able to get that machine back up and running. So congrats to that pit crew. Great job to the pit crew. So he lives to fight for a couple of more laps before the race ends. And 86 of Adam Eisenhower. Adam Eisenhower on pit road, still getting damage fixed on that machine, being shown 34 laps down. Very unfortunate for Adam Eisenhower, but hopefully he's still able to get back out there before the race is over. And we did lose the 9 of Chris Voyles there early on lap number 60, unfortunately. Paul Davis is back on the racing surface as well. He was on pit road due to some heavy black smoke from the rear end after some heavy contact. And he's back on the racing surface as we speak. That's racing surface. 14 laps down in the 33rd place spot. And 69 of Kerry Cleaver, 2 laps down behind the pace car, getting 1 lap back once the lights on the pace car turn off. And Jason Eisenhower on pit road as we speak. First driver 1 lap down. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Drive for Diabetes Awareness in the chat. That's Drive for Diabetes Awareness in the chat. That is Brent Quill. Welcome back, Brent. Hope you're doing well tonight, man. And the racing is amazing. Yep, the drivers tonight were able to unleash all those beasts from last week. This track, this more forgiving track, Texas Speedway. And we are now back 1 to green, and the new race leader, that's right, 88 of John Sterling. Is this right? Yes, John Sterling, the new race leader, had a 9.5 second pit stop. That was 2 tires, full tank of gas, compared to McDaniel, who had a 4-tire pit stop with the whole entire field behind him. So we have Sterling starting on the inside up front with the help of Gary Whitson. Outside line being led by Hunter McDaniel with the help of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Absolutely. Check don'tguess.org. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That pace car dips off. Sterling finds the gas pedal once the green flag flies, and a drag race between himself and Hunter McDaniel as they go at it side by side, entering turn 1. But Sterling should come out with the upper hand here on the inside lane advantage, and he clears McDaniel successfully here before turn number 2. And Curtis Vollmer had a bad restart on the outside line as we speak. He's trying his best to fall back in line between Whitson and McFadden, but so far having no luck. He's stuck side by side with McFadden as we speak. And Vollmer finally is able to fall back in line behind the 64 of Cody McFadden, and currently here in the 5th place spot. Ladies and gentlemen, a special treat coming to you live on the online Sim Racing Network. That means crank up your sounds, crank up your volume, and enjoy the engine sounds. Crank it up, Cam. Enjoy. We are under caution here. We're gonna back it up and see what happened and try that, crank it up later on. The 42 of David Elliott spun out. Yep, David Elliott involved. Actually started up front, in front of David Elliott with the 149. Yes, that was 149. Trying to get a number on the machine. That's Scott Brooks.
Looking at the replay, it looks like that started with the 149. He got into the outside wall, shot off the wall, and just down in front of a bunch of drivers, and just started a mad dash. Drivers trying to avoid. Unfortunately, the 42 got hit. Does a good job at trying to keep it off the wall, but unfortunately not. That's going to take out a few trucks here with our 5th caution.
Oh man, very unfortunate for the drivers involved, and Travis Pryor is somehow able to get past that without a scratch. Oh man, Bryce Whitson Jr. just left pit road and has no choice but to go down pit road to get more damage fixed, because now new smoke is coming out from that engine, unfortunately. So hopefully he's still able to get that damage fixed and get back out here before the race ends. But like you said, it involved a lot more drivers than intended. So Scott Brooks involved, Bryce Whitson and Tommy Amasi as well got a piece of action, including the 42 of David Elliott. But up front here we have Hunter McDaniel behind the pace car in 1st place, the new leader. John Sterling 2nd, Gary B. Whitson 3rd, Cody McFadden 4th, and Curtis Vollmer in the 5th place spot. '69 of Kerry Cleaver. Kerry Cleaver gets the lucky dog. They wave around the pace car. Currently in the 31st place spot. He's now back to 1 lap down. Congrats to the 69 of Kerry Cleaver. And as a result of the incident here for this caution, we have lost another driver, the 42 of David Elliott. We look forward to seeing David Elliott back next week for Auto Club. And this does give us some time to get a race interview in, so let's focus on the 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we join up in the booth by the only Bandit Motorsports driver left tonight, 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Good up there, Kerry.
What's happening, Sean?
Good, how are you, man?
Oh, I could be better. I hit the wall and kind of caused a little wreck earlier, and the truck's a little bent up, so I'm just trying to survive now.
Oh,
I
copy
made the
that.
mistake of taking 2 tires on a pit stop. Bad mistake.
Oh man, yeah, seems like four tires, always the way to go. And how's the machine been handling with the damage? How have you noticed it?
Not too bad. It ain't bad at all. I've just been trying to stay out of the way now. I'm slowly getting my laps back. I took a wave around, got 1, and I just got the lucky dog, so now I'm only 1 lap down.
Hey man, you might be able to get your other lap back here before too long and be back on the lead lap. So with that said, what's your game plan? Do you think anything's gonna change?
I'm probably just gonna take it easy and hope for another caution and get a. I'm the only 1 a lap down, so I should get the wave around.
Oh, 10-4, man. Well, Kerry, you are now back 1 to green. We look forward to seeing you here back on the lead lap and hopefully up there with everybody else. Make us proud.
Thank you, sir.
And that was 69 of Kerry Cleaver, Bandit Motorsports driver. Having a rough night, rough start to tonight's race, unfortunately, but it looks like it's picking up for him. He was 2 laps down, but now back to 1 lap down. The first driver 1 lap down, as a matter of fact, so he should be able to get the lucky dog if another caution comes out, and hopefully the race picks up for him for his sake. Going back up front, we are still being led by Hunter McDaniel with the help of Cody McFadden. Inside line being led by John Sterling with the help of Gary B. Whitson. And John Sterling was the only driver to take 2 tires during the last pit stop they had. But the pace car dips off and Hunter McDaniel finds the gas pit immediately. The green flag is out. John Sterling was caught sleeping on this restart and will pay the price. As a result, he maintains 3rd place as McFadden was able to get around him, get in between Sterling himself and McDaniel for 2nd place. And now John Sterling going at it side by side with 13 of Gary Whitson for 3rd place. And Whitson able to edge him out entering turn 3 and off turn 4. They do stay 4th and 5th place. At 3rd and 4th place, that means Gary Whitson bumped up 1 spot to 3rd place. John Sterling down to 4th place. And now Greg Bradshaw as well in this mix, trying to poke his nose into this battle, into the battle between Sterling and Gary B. Whitson. At the same time, Bradshaw is bringing the 48 of Vollmer with him. And unfortunately, we have lost another driver, the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. Very, very unfortunate. 48 of Curtis to the inside of Greg Bradshaw. He clears him successfully on the backstretch, entering turn 3 as well. And that bumps Greg Bradshaw to 6th out of the top 5. And Vollmer up into the top 5. For the back in the pack, we have some bumped draft action taking place. 17 of Tommy Haynes, 140 of Sal Casey going at it, single foul, way too close for comfort. And Tommy Haynes knows if he makes a mistake, his mistake is going to be Casey's benefit. And Sal Casey knows, Sal Casey has shown that he has exactly what it takes to get the job done, being the heaviest mover early on in the race with about 10 to 14 laps in, and has been getting nothing but higher up with every single lap, every single run, after starting in the 34th place spot, currently in 9th place between Randy Perdue and Tommy Haynes. And for the back in the pack, haven't spoken much of this driver tonight, if any, the 15 of Gary Woolbot, keeping a low profile as usual until you get closer to the end of the race in that Valvoline Toyota Tundra, currently in 19th place behind the 5-0 of Scott Mitten. He's about 9/10 of a second behind Scott Mitten, his next victim for position number 18. At the same time, he has Brandon Ketchum trying to get up to him to try and challenge him as well. Speaking of Brandon Ketchum is pulling on the 81 of Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor was able to sneak past the last wreck by a nose hair somehow. I'm sure he needed to change his pants after that one. But as we speak right now, we have Pryor all over the back bumper of the 12 of Brandon Ketchum. I say all over the back bumper, but there is a little bit of a gap in between the two drivers, but still, he is making his presence known in the rear view of Ketchum. And right behind Travis Pryor is some side-by-side going on. It's between Timothy Hamilton, the 49, and 23 of Jim Kelly. I haven't spoken much of either drivers here tonight. Jim Kelly on the outside, he goes way wide and loses all his speed and momentum as a result of that. But as we speak, he's now on the inside, on the outside of both Nick Hunt and 49 of Hamlet. And a new viewer tuning into the chat, checking in. Welcome back to the Online Sim Racing Network. That is Guillermo Ferreira. Guillermo Ferreira. Welcome to the Online Sim Racing Network. Actually, welcome back, because I've seen you in the chat before. And it's rooting for the 24 of Octavio Rondoletto, and Octavio Rondoletto here is currently in the 12th place spot, battling heavily as we speak on the inside of 5 of Randy Perdue. Randy Perdue currently on the outside line. They are 12th and 13th respectively, and Rondoletto is drafting off 34 of Tyler Harmon on the inside. And John Marine, today's National Mustang Day. Okay, no, I didn't know that. In that case, keep the crowds away, right? Move the crowds away. I'm just messing. And the 5 of Randy Perdue here in the 13th place spot on the inside of 61 of Jeffrey Gillum. He was able to maintain 13th place by a nose hair. I should say gain 13th place by a nose hair against Jeffrey Gillum. And Jeffrey Gillum so far trying to catch a break, but so far having no luck. He now has Doug Blackman to his inside. Doug Blackman pushes tight on the exit of turn number 4 and has to let off to avoid causing trouble. As a result, Jeffrey Gillum is in the clear for now. Doug Blackmon going at it, trying to go back for round. Oh, a drive on the wall. 5 of Purdue smacks the wall, goes sideways off the racing surface in the grass. He saves it, power slides it. Still green flag racing. Oh man, all speed, all momentum lost, and a bunch of spots lost by Randy Purdue.
Well, as we go back to the replay, we are looking here at the 5. As you said, he just pushes real hard on the exit of turn 4, up into the outside wall, down into the grass, but he gets it down there, gets it straightened out, gets back out on the track, keeps us green flag racing with 39 laps to go.
Oh man, absolutely. That was a save and a half. And I'm surprised he was able to save it in the grass despite having zero traction whatsoever. So a nice save by the 5 of Randy Purdue. And we have it. Oh, the caution flies this time around as we had a new race leader. Gonna back it up. See what happened.
That was the 13 there, Gary B. Whitson. So let's take a look here. Oh, got a little bump there from the 88 of John Sterling. Got him bent out of shape. And doesn't look like any other trucks make contact with him. Just a little damage there on the back side. Let's see if we can get a different view here. Yeah, it just looks like maybe John Sterling didn't expect him to check up. Just gave him a little bump there. He got squirrely and around he went.
Oh man, yeah, he actually didn't even tap him that hard. But with how much speed he was carrying, the machine became extra light. And it could have taken a single tap to get that machine loose. In the case of Gary Whitson, he just took that tap and he got all sorts of squirrely. That's still very, very unfortunate for him. Going back up front, Cody McFadden, the new race leader. We have Hunter McDaniel second, John Sterling third, Jay Pryor fourth, and Sal Casey in that 5th place spot. And we have 37 laps left. So this might be their final needed pit stop for them to be able to make it. And we have the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen in the chat. He says, I'm out. Oh man, sorry to hear about that. Joshua Gillen, Advanced Simulation Products machine. The Silverado is on pit road with the pit crew hard at work trying to get it fixed. That's very unfortunate, Joshua, but a heck of a race on your part. Looks like Cody McFadden was not able to maintain the lead off pit road. He gets overtaken or beaten off pit road by Hunter McDaniel and John Sterling, and McFadden himself comes out third, Jay Pryor fourth, and Greg Bradshaw in the 5th place spot. And the first driver 1 lap down. I do not believe the lucky dog has been issued yet. If that's the case, Kerry Cleaver should be back on the lead lap before too long. Yeah, looks like Kerry Cleaver not getting the lucky dog. So I guess I missed the driver who got the lucky dog. I do apologize. And right now we have Kerry Cleaver behind the pace car with a 5 of Randy Purdue. Randy Purdue, after recovering from a bad incident off the exit of turn number 4. And Randy Purdue being the second driver claimed by the exit of turn 4 wall. So that was a nice save once again. And I'm sure he's glad to see the caution. And Pat T not feeling well. She has a headache. Pat, hope you feel better soon. Take some leave, take some painkillers, and relax. The lights on the pace car do turn off. Randy Perdue, Kerry Cleaver both get one lap back. As a result, they are both back on the lead lap, and that now gives us 29 drivers back on the lead lap. And everybody else, well, from there we have Paul Davis, who's 14 laps down. So everybody is 14 or more laps down, unfortunately. Very, very rough for these drivers, namely Paul Davis, Joshua Gillen, David Elliott, Jason Eisenhower, Chris Voiles, Adam Eisenhower, Bryce Whitson Jr. On that list. Going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel with the help of Jay Pryor. Jay Pryor's heaviest move this far with 109 laps in. Great job to Jay Pryor. Inside line being led by John Sterling with the help of 64 of Cody McFadden. And look at that, the 140 of Sal Casey, a heavy, heavy threat to all these drivers tonight, right behind Jay Pryor. That's true, Pat. The pace car dips off. Hunter finds the gas pedal immediately and gets a commanding lead against his opponent. But his teammate behind, Jay Pryor, able to gain 2 spots on that restart. That's Maverick Motorsports. So we have the 140 Sal Case moving up to 3rd place. Well, not quite. Back down to 4th place, overtaken by the 48 of Curtis Vollmer on the exit of 2. And Pat T can't relax on race night. I can imagine. I hear you. And Sal Casey so far being challenged by the 88 of John Sterling, who as well has been a very, very fast, an alien here tonight. And he has a heavy foot, not afraid to use it, not afraid to show off that skill. And as we speak, we have Sterling, he's inside occupied by 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes coming out of nowhere. Tommy Haynes chose to stay in the back of the pack for the longest time, and now he cracked the top 10, and he's deciding to stay in the top 10 and advance his spot into the top 5 as we speak. Yep, Tommy Haynes' first appearance in the top 5 with 112 laps in. Caution flags this time around. Gonna back it up, see what happened. Oh, Mr. Highside himself involved, Ralph Vanderforst.
Well, as we pull up the instant replay here, we're gonna, hard lick into the wall there. As it looks like he was blinking, having a little bit of a connection issue, and then there was contact with, let's see what truck that was there. As he was blinking out, contact with the 25 machine. And that just sent him flying on his lid, so unfortunate there for the 68 of Ralph Vandervorst.
Oh man, yeah, very unfortunate indeed for Ralph Vanderforst. Hopefully he has enough time to get back up there. Yep, we still have 30 laps to go in tonight's race. That is 30 laps to go. So if the damage on the machine of Ralph is not as bad as it looks, he should be able to still pick up a couple of spots and hopefully finish in the top 20, top 15, or maybe even top 10, or maybe top 5. You never know. It's never over until it's over. Going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel, who at this point is faking everybody down pit road. He stays out, and so does Curtis Vollmer, Jay Pryor, Sal Casey, and Tommy Haynes. Pretty much everybody staying out, except for Jeffrey Gillum, Tim Hamlet, Chris Thorman, Nick Hunt, Brandon Ketchum, Scott Brooks, Gary Whitson, and Kerry Cleaver. And this caution caught Kerry Cleaver and Randy Perdue at a very, very good time because they weren't able to pit in last lap due to them staying out to get the wave rounds. Lucky Dog has been issued. We have Randy Perdue back on the lead lap. Well, I guess he was 2 laps down last caution. I did say he was back on the lead lap, but I was wrong. So Randy Perdue, Lucky Dog, back on the lead lap this time around. And this gives us time for a race interview. So let's focus on the 15 of Gary Woolbot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us up in the booth is the 15 of Gary Woolbot. Get up there, Gary.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, trying to survive the race. It's been fun so far.
Oh, absolutely, man. And, you know, all race long, keeping a low profile as you do with every single race until you show your face towards the very end. And how's the machine been treating you? Basically, how have you been able to adapt this far?
Yeah, it's been running really good. Just trying to stay out of trouble and work my way up the field and hopefully maybe get a top 10 finish, but a lot of fast guys in front of me.
Oh, absolutely. And what did you have to do? What went into preparing for tonight's race?
I'm just trying to be patient. Realize how many laps there are. We still got, what, 28 laps to go. There's still a lot of racing left. Be patient. Try to keep the car clean and stay out of trouble. And that's pays off in most of these races.
Oh, most definitely, man. Well, last season too, Gary, you were able to get yourself locked into the chase. How's the season going so far? Your season going so far?
Oh boy, those first couple races were. I think I had more incidents in the first two races than I had all last season. But last couple races has been a lot better. So hopefully we'll make a strong middle of the season push and get in the chase again.
Oh, absolutely, man. That would be amazing. You are an amazing driver, and that does not go unnoticed. Well, but you are now back one to green. You've come a long way this far. You've stayed alive, which was your biggest mission tonight. Or you've stayed alive and stayed alive, basically. So we look forward to seeing you now 14 spots higher. Make us proud, man.
We're on try to get top 10.
And that was 15 of Gary Woolbot, currently in the 15th place spot, like his truck number, in that Valvoline Toyota Tundra, very, very well-dressed machine. Going back up front, we are being led by Hunter McDaniel with the help of Jay Pryor. Two teammates, nose to tail. Outside line, we have Samson Motorsports driver Curtis Vollmer with the help of the new addition, standby driver, the 140 of Sal Casey. I should admit right now the top 10 is a very, very bad combination of drivers. Basically, you have the A++ drivers, the best drivers in the track series, batched up together. Pace car dips off. Hunter finds that gas pedal. The green flag is out. Jay Pryor is on his tail already as we speak before the entrance to turn number 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's try it again. Crank it up, Cam. Attempt number 2. Enjoy. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, was the Crank It Up Cam, Speed Cam, if you will, courtesy of the Online Sim Racing Network. Hope you guys all enjoy listening to these machines roar and sing as one. These V8 machines. Well, so far we are now led by a new leader, 80J Pryor. We have Hunter McDaniel second, Curtis Vollmer third, Tommy Haynes fourth, and Cody McFadden in the fourth place spot. And we have a battle going on between Hunter McDaniel and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer side by side. Looks like McDaniel is having some difficulty with that machine, with the handling wise. Not sure what happened to it. But as we speak, Vollmer is trying to take advantage of that while we can. They're still going at it side by side. Tommy Haynes coming up in line. Cody McFadden and Sal Casey as well, right behind.
Well, I'll tell you somebody that's real happy to see this in his rearview mirror. That is the 80 of Jay Pryor. These two guys battling have let him pull out about 7 to 9 tenths of a lead over these two. As long as they are battling, that's just going to let him pull away there, Sean.
Absolutely, man. Yep, enjoying that mighty clean air with that rearview mirror clear as a blue sky, if you will. And right now we have 17 of Tommy Haynes still watching the battle between the 48 of Vollmer and Sal Casey. And we talked about it, ladies and gentlemen, how one man's mistake is another man's benefit. So basically we had a battle between Vollmer and McDaniel not too long ago, side by side. But now Vollmer fell short and lost another spot to the 6'4 McFadden. As a result, right now it's trying to play catch-up, while at the same time trying to hold off the 140 of Sal Casey, Tommy Haynes as well, including the 34 of Tyler Holman. But going back to the leader up front, Jay Pryor's lead, getting nothing but bigger. He's being able to hit all of his sweet spots with that Q line, because no threats. And Hunter McDaniel now is suffering even more. Cody McFadden back in the mix to his inside. Side by side they go. Oh man, McDaniel trying his best to hold them off, but he can only try if he can only do that for so long. Oh, McFadden goes up the track. He smacks he tapped the apron, went up the track into Hunter McDaniel. McDaniel went sideways and somehow saved it. If we can do it, let's back it up on McDaniel and see the sideways action. The save. Oh man, yeah, that was unfortunate for McFadden and McDaniel. McFadden tapped the apron and shot him up into the track, into the 57 of Hunter McDaniel. That could have been ugly. So nice save by the drivers. Well, this means one thing, ladies and gentlemen. The lead of Jay Pryor got even bigger than before. It doubled. Well, it got 4 tenths greater, well 6 tenths greater in this case, because now Sal Casey is 1 second behind Jay Pryor. At the same time, Sal Casey is working with Curtis Vollmer for a common good. So far they are single file, trying to work together, try to catch Jay Pryor, and maybe work together to get past Jay Pryor, or maybe once they get toward to Jay Pryor, they might end up going separate ways. It just might become every man for themselves. 13 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. 13 laps to go, and the caution flies. Gonna back it up, see what happened.
Unfortunately, it's going to be the 149 there of Scott Brooks as we go back to the replay. Oh, contact between him and the 72 of Kingsbury. Got him around there, but unfortunately that's going to be our 8th caution here tonight with 12 laps to go.
Oh man, absolutely very unfortunate for the drivers involved. And turn number 2 claims another. Oh, Yeah, guess it wasn't the turn's fault there, but some heavy contact indeed did cause that. Well, here going back to the race, we are still being led by Jay Pryor. With 12 laps to go, will they stay out? Will they come in? Jay Pryor staying out, and majority of the field follows his lead. Actually, the majority of the field is going down pit road. Let's see. So far, the top 9 drivers staying out, but then everybody else pitting in, including Nick Hunt, Garrett Helmlinger, Scott Mitten, Jeffrey Gillum, Timothy Hamlet, Travis Pryor, Gary Whitson, Octavio Rondoletto, Jim Kelly, Randy Perdue, Scott Mitten, Timothy Hamlet, Kerry Cleaver, and Doug Blackman all down pit road. So pretty much we had a little bit over half the field go down pit road, but less than half did stay out. But since so many drivers stayed out, the top 9 drivers stayed out. In this case, top 10 drivers stayed out. That's going to make it extra difficult for the drivers who pitted in to get past that traffic, because this traffic that stayed out, basically the top 10 drivers have 26 laps since their last pit stops. That's a big difference on tires. So if those who pitted in take 4 tires, they'll be way faster, but it's going to be a roadblock. It's going to be difficult to pass. The track is only so wide. And the 5 of Randy Perdue. Oh, actually, scratch that. 51 of Paul Davis. 51 of Paul Davis got the wave around, got the lucky dog. He's back to 13 laps down from 14 laps down. So congrats to 51 of Paul Davis, even though it's been a rough night for him. Absolutely there, John nicely said. It is still anybody's race. It's not over until it's over. And a status check on the 15 of Gary Woolbot. Gary Woolbot has his wish granted this far. And that was him finishing in the top 10. Was at the moment he is in the top 10. So that is step 1 right there. And now once we go green, we'll have less than 10 laps to go. So ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are going to be off, which means every man for themselves. It is go time. 0% give and 100% take. So hang on tight and enjoy the show. The 12 of Brandon Ketchum. Brandon Ketchum currently in the 11th place spot after starting in the 30th place position. He's kept a low profile. We had some bad luck there early on, but he is now here when it matters the most, starting behind the 74 of Greg Bradshaw, and 71 as well, Chris Thorman in that Pro Forma machine as well. The Silverado on the outside behind Woolbot is currently in the 12th place spot, and Chris Thorman as well had some bad luck at one point in the race, but he is now back up here in the top 15 with Ketchum. And Tommy Massey as well. Let's spoken much of Tommy Massey tonight, if any. He's actually here as well, currently behind the 12 of Ketchum as we go green, and he did start in the 27th place spot, currently 13th. Well, going green, ladies and gentlemen, with an 8-lap shootout coming up. That's an 8-lap shootout coming up. Hang on tight, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Put the popcorn away and the refreshment, and hang on tight. The pace car dips off, and Jay Pryor finds the gas pedal. He gets a good restart enough to maintain the lead against the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who was able to see it coming in time to maintain second place against 64 of McFadden. Cody McFadden trying to hang on tight as the 140 Sal Casey to his inside. A freight train going on. Sal Casey gets around him, and now there's room for 57 McDaniel to do the exact same thing. Sal Casey going all the way high. He pushes, smacks the wall. Big check on the outside. Oh man, caution flies with 7 laps to go. Big wreck happening. McFadden involved, McDaniel involved, and Sterling involved. Oh man, and Sal Casey, let's back it up on replay. And it looks like it began with the 140 of Casey.
Yeah, it's just a big junk here. Looking from the blimp, you could just see trucks going everywhere, checking up, hitting each other. Around they go. Just a big junk here with 7 to go. I think we might end up with a 1-lap shootout.
Absolutely, man. That was quite the wreck right there. Oh, man. Sal Casey, Cody McFadden getting the worst end of that deal. Oh, and 13 of Whitson had nowhere to go because the track was blocked. He slammed on those brakes and slammed into the stationary traffic on the track, namely Sal Casey and Cody McFadden. And, man, that's quite a sudden turn of events for the drivers involved in that, because those drivers were all up front before that happened. But going back up front, we have 8-0 Jay Pryor still leading. Curtis Vollmer now second. Tommy Haynes third. Cody McFadden fourth. Actually, yep, and Hunter McDaniel in the 5th place spot. And we had the caution came out with 7 laps to go. So yeah, we're gonna be having a 2-lap shootout for the checkered flag. And that means one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Next flag ends the race. 149 Scott Brooks gets around the pace car back on the lead lap, actually. Yep, Scott Brooks back on the lead lap this time around on lap 137 with a beat up Toyota Tundra. But it did get the job done tonight. A great job, Scott Brooks. Oh, I just heard someone blow up. 64 of Cody McFadden. Big loud boom. The machine is dead and is trying to crawl down to pit road. Oh man, unfortunately that ends McFadden's night after a successful run overall. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to be back next week for round number 8. Actually, round number 7, sorry, that's tonight's round 6. Next week, round number 7, the Auto Club 20th anniversary. That's the Auto Club 20th anniversary at Auto Club Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is race number 6 of 10 before the chase begins. So once again, this is a 10-week regular race season and a 5-week chase, or I should say 5-race chase series for a total of 15 weeks, 15 races. So once the first 10 races are over, we're going to be having the chase. The drivers go at it for the championship, in this case against defending champion Hunter McDaniel, Maverick Motorsports driver. So this is race number 6 of 10, the Advanced Simulation Products 142. That's the Advanced Simulation Products 142. Race 3 of 10, Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the Advanced Simulation Products.com, specializing in custom button boxes. So check them out at AdvancedSimulationProducts.com. Also, ladies and gentlemen, check out the ExtremeMotorsports99.com at their website. They do have a lot to offer for all those of you interested in racing in an amazing league. On Monday nights, they have a road series, a Pro K&N series, Tuesday nights, truck series, Wednesday nights, Xfinity series, and also a couple of more series I can think of off the top of my head. But check them out, ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and you are not going to be disappointed. So check them out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back 1 to green for the final time this time around. The next flag ends the race. And I guess both Dave and I were wrong because we have a 3-lap shootout coming up. Bad math on my part. Jay Pryor in the lead with the help of Hunter McDaniel. Inside line being led by Curtis Vollmer with the help of Tommy Haynes. We are going green. A 3-lap shootout coming up. Hang on tight. It's going to be a bumpy ride. And at this point, next flag ends the race. Pace car dips off, and wheel spin on the front stretch. Did that cause a wreck? Nope, just a big checkup. But we do stay green, but that did stack up the field. And I believe that was wheel spin on the 48 of Vollmer's part. Man, he actually missed Jay Pryor by a nose hair. Wow, but going back up front, we are still Green Flag Racing, still being led by the 8-0 of Jay Pryor. Hunter McDaniel being challenged by 17 of Tommy Haynes, side by side. And a battle for 4th place between the 1-4-0 of Sal Casey and 34 of Tyler Holman as they go at it side by side. Sal Casey falls short of the exit of turn 2. Looks like the damage on the machine on the Coors Light machine is actually affecting the machine negatively. But now Tyler Holman gonna have the upper hand, and as we speak is pulling on the 15 of Gary Woolbot in 7th place. Three wide entering turn number 1 among 1-4-0 of Sal Casey, Gary Woolbot, and the 3 of Garrett Helmlinger. But Sal Casey was pushed up way wide, smacked the wall, and lost all his speed and momentum as a result of that. And here we are now 1 to green. Well, this is the checkered flag, actually. Jay Pryor brings this thing home. Tommy Haynes 2nd, Greg Bradshaw 3rd, Hunter McDaniel 4th, and Tyler Holman in the 5th place spot. I apologize for not being able to keep up. It was so much action going on all out throughout the track. And these drivers were able to make this an exciting race as usual. So congrats to every single driver out there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, top 3 interviews coming up. 8-0 Jay Pryor, Tommy Haynes, and the 74 of Greg Bradshaw. So please stay tuned. And hopefully we see a smoke show by the 8-0 of Pryor. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining up in the booth by the top 3 drivers, we have Jay Pryor, Tommy Haynes, and the 74 of Greg Bradshaw. Starting to a nice race winner who also won last night's race in the Pro K&N Series, Jay Pryor. Gonna come up there, Jay?
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Like you just said, the sweep the K&N and the trucks this week, awesome.
Oh man, great success on your part this far this season, and especially in tonight's race, and successfully securing your spot in the chase this far. How was your experience tonight, man?
Man, I tell you what, we was up to 4th, and I messed up in my pit stops, so went all the way back to 30th. So I passed a lot of trucks tonight, but I tell you, very hard to pass here. And I need to let everybody know, Hunter McDaniel and Travis Pryor, without them, I couldn't have won it tonight. They coached me through those last few restarts. You know, they got a lot more experience than I do.
And Jay, when it came down to it, you know, we noticed, yeah, like you talked about, at one point you made it, you went from the 10th place spot from top 10, basically, to the back of the pack, and had to do it all over again. How were you able to do that successfully without burning up your stuff? Because at that point, you might maybe get from 30th place to 20th place, and end up freezing there due to you burning up your stuff. But in your case, you were able to be successful and get back up front. How is that possible?
Well, the first run when we started back in 30th, I did burn the tires up to get back up in the top 15, and then that caution fell just right, and we was able to get some tires, and I was watching Cody McFadden. He had a good line on the bottom, was making it work, and I started picking up on using them just a little bit of brake, getting into one to set the truck, and that helped me on my passes. And I just want to say to Hunter McDaniel, I apologize getting into you there at the end. It was just hard racing, and I appreciate it.
Well, buddy, congrats on your success here tonight in securing yourself a spot in the chase. And Pat T is going wild in the chat. Going very wild. She's very, very proud of you. And man, we look forward to seeing you back at Auto Club Speedway with the exact same momentum. Any final words before you go?
Yeah, definitely got to thank my mom, Pat T. She supports all of us Maverick Motorsports. She's there every night of the week watching these races. And thank you guys up in the broadcast booth and these admins here. Man, they do a great job. Thanks, Ken Ladd and Bryce. Y'all, awesome job. Thank y'all.
Well, congrats on your success once again there, Jay. Go celebrate and see you again next week.
Thank you.
That was Maverick Motorsports driver Jay Pryor. Next in line is second place finisher who kept a low profile all race long, 17 of Tommy Haynes. Get up there, Tommy.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm glad this is over.
I can imagine, man. We saw a lot of side by side going on your part, just trying to stay alive, and that ended up working out. What was the greatest factor to your success tonight?
Saving that right front tire. The first run, I burned them up, and then I figured out what I needed, what I done wrong, and then I started getting save my right front, and after that, everybody come back to me there at the end. So.
Oh, 10-4, man. Yeah, congrats on saving that right front and working your way through the field and getting up there at the right time, being at the right place at the right time. Very, very impressive. And what went into preparing for tonight's race from your part? Basically, what was your game plan from the beginning?
My game plan was really just staying out of trouble and just finish. I've had some bad luck the past few weeks getting caught up in other people's accidents, and I just really needed to finish good so I can get back up here in the points.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, congrats on your success here tonight. And with the Wimbish Motorsports team, well, this definitely has shaken things up for you. So from now on, it's just good luck all the way, man. And we look forward to seeing you one spot higher next week at Auto Club Speedway. Speaking of Auto Club, that's a whole different beast. Basically, it's a high momentum truck. At the same time, it is flatter than Texas. Actually, it's flat, but this one, Texas is not really flat. So what do you think is the best way to approach Auto Club next week?
I'm going to do the same way I done tonight. Stay out of trouble, save my tires, and hope for the best there.
Oh, 10-4, brother. Well, in final words before you go, in final words.
I'd like to thank my crew chief and spotter, John Wimbush, best in the business. Sponsor, AdvancedSimulationProducts.com. Go check out Jim Kelly, get your button box, and thank all y'all for what y'all do. Ken, everybody up in Bryce, everybody up in the admin's booth. That's a tough job, and I'd hate to have to do it, but we'll see y'all next week.
Well, congrats on your success here tonight, and look forward to seeing you again one spot higher next week. We'll go celebrate. See you next week.
Thank you, buddy. You too, buddy.
And that was 17 of Tommy Haynes with the Wimbish Motorsports team. But next in line is our previous points leader, 74 of Greg Bradshaw with the Alliance Racing team. Good go up there, Greg.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Really happy, really happy.
Oh, I can only imagine, man. You had a lot of heavy competition, a lot of heavy contenders out there. How were you able to come out on top tonight?
Really got lucky at the end. I tell you what, like 3 laps before that, I was sitting in 8th. It was a wild race, you know. Everybody's fast, especially on new tires, and it just really came down to track position and getting the inside line and keeping your momentum on the restarts, getting a good restart to begin with.
Oh, most definitely, man. Well, you did an amazing job on every single aspect, and towards the very end, like you talked about, being at the right place at the right time, everything just worked out for you, and you were able to be successful. So congrats on your success tonight. When it came down to it, what seemed to be the most challenging part of tonight's race from your perspective?
Turn 2, definitely. If you had to run high through turn 1 and 2, you just felt like you ran out of track with turn 2. But if you could survive it, and you could run on the outside of somebody for like 2 laps, then you could get them on the outside of 3 and 4, because you could fly off turn 4 if because you could get that momentum. I actually need to thank Hunter McDaniel for that. I was following him early in the race, and I picked up on his line. He was using a high line for momentum, and it worked really well.
Oh, most definitely, man. Well, congrats on the success here tonight, Greg, and this really puts you very well up in the points. Where starting tonight's race, you were 3rd place in points, only 3 points behind 5-0 of Scott Mitten, and with your finish tonight, you should be able to get back in 2nd place, if not 1st place in points, taking back the race lead away from Curtis Vollmer, because here 50 of Scott Mitten ended up, unfortunately, having a rough race. Well, he finished in the 11th place spot, so you still be able to gain some amazing spots. Well, congratulations on success tonight there, Greg. Look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the fans. Y'all have a great night.
That was Alliance Motorsports driver, Alliance Racing driver, 74 of Greg Bradshaw, our previous points leader. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that rounds up interviews. Jay Pryor with Maverick Motorsports, Tommy Haynes with the Wimbish Motorsports, and Greg Bradshaw with the Alliance Racing team. Well, thank you very much for tuning in tonight here on the Online Sim Racing Network for the Advanced Simulation Products 142 Race 6 of 10 Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series, brought to you by the AdvancedSimulationProducts.com, specializing in custom button boxes. So like they said, hit up Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is one of the drivers in the 23 truck here in the truck series, so hit him up for those custom button boxes. Well, next race is next week, round number 7 of 10 at Auto Club, entitled the Auto Club 20th Anniversary. That's Auto Club 20th Anniversary at Auto Club Speedway, a bumpy and flat track, which as well has been known to eat up tires quite a bit, and a high momentum track to go with it too. So it's going to be an amazing race as well. Well, any final ways there? Any thoughts there, Dave? Oh, I do believe Dave is having some mic problems, but he says he enjoyed the race tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to seeing everybody back again next week. Actually, we look forward to seeing everybody back tomorrow night as the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series goes side by side live here on the Online Sim Racing Network. I am Sean Zulu. And David Everly behind the cameras. Pat T, it's time to relax. Go get that headache taken care of. It's great to see you again. We look forward to seeing you again back tomorrow night or next week. And have a good night, everybody.